friends, this is Jeannie. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am going to continue to work on my journal for my Your Creative Studio subscription box. I think this is video number 4. If you have not seen videos 1, 2, and 3, be sure to check them out because they will catch you up on what I have been doing up until this point. I will link those videos in this general area here throughout this video so that it's easier for you to find. I am going to be working on signatures today. I will be putting together 3 signatures. 3 signatures is my standard. It's what I like. It's what I'm comfortable with. It's what seems right to me. So that is what I will be making. What I did is I went through my paper stash and I pulled a bunch of papers. I tried so hard not to overthink this because a lot of the times I do overthink it. I decided that this signature or this journal will have 3 signatures that are somewhat eclectic. The goal is to use up as much of my stash as I can. I'm thinking each signature will be somewhere between 15 to 20 pages. I am not going to be adding pockets, flips, or anything complicated to the pages at this point. So I think that number will work. If I find it's too much, I can always edit. Each signature will have a cover made from wallpaper because I have tons of wallpaper. So the first thing I did was I went through my stash and pulled all different types of papers. I have wallpaper and I have 3 different colors of the same style. And then inside each signature, I'm just going to have a nice eclectic collection of different papers. I have this lovely lined paper. This is a cardstock type paper. I love the sepia tones of this particular paper. I have some just plain white paper. I pulled some envelopes. I just like adding envelopes to my signatures. I think it's a nice little element. It's different. It's fun. So I pulled 3 envelopes. I have some smaller pieces of textured wallpaper in some neutral tones, which I think will work across the board with any boxes that I may receive from Your Creative Studio. And I just like the texture as well. I also have this wallpaper border with these, they're just so pretty little fairies. I have been wanting to use these in a project, so I am going to try my best to incorporate them in this particular project. I'm not sure. I would say of all the papers that I pulled, this is the one that I'm kind of unsure about, but I think I can make it work. I pulled a couple of sheets of that. This is more wallpaper. I love the kind of foliage vibe of these, and I know you can't tell, but touching these, they have a very nice texture to them. I have that. Here are more scraps or cut-offs from other 12 by 12s. This seems to be part of a collection called Lovely Day. And I love that this collection is double-sided. I also love that it is smaller in size than the other pages. I think I want to add different size papers to these signatures. I don't want them to be uniform in size throughout the entire signature. I'm looking for different sizes, different layers, different textures, and I think this will work. So I pulled that. Then I have this. This is pretty cool. I've had this in my stash for a good long time. It is some very elaborate, intricate, I don't know, do you call this paper? I don't know what you call this, but it is gorgeous. It is not double-sided, but I love this color, and I think it goes beautifully with this particular journal. I love that it has this intricate design, almost like laser cut, if that makes any sense. It's a beautiful matte teal type color with some silver. I don't know if you can see the silver, but it has some silver detailing throughout. I love that. So I grabbed 2 sheets of that. Here is just some different dyed papers. I have just this one random sheet of this pink dyed paper, and I think this is avocado dyed paper. So I thought maybe I can incorporate that somewhere in the journal. Here is this beautiful, just gold tone 12 by 12 sheet of paper. Of course, I have some tea dyed papers. I have this blue paper that's also dyed. I purchased it from, I believe the Etsy shop is called God's Speed Creations. And I purchased a bunch of different color dyed papers from that particular shop, this being one of them. I love the blues. Then, of course, I have, I think this is called Echo paper. I'm not sure. So I have that in these kind of like beige and neutral tones. Here's more of that same paper. And of course, I grabbed some other random items like these brown paper bags, this grid or ledger lined paper. This I know is coffee filters. These are coffee filters that have been dyed. I grabbed 3 of those. We have some beautiful doilies here that are dyed. So pretty. Aren't these gorgeous? I absolutely love these. Some more dyed paper. This is in a very vibrant green. I, of course, have some beautiful vellum by Tim Holtz. Love these. This is gorgeous. Thought I can make that work. And then I have these loose sheets of 12 by 12 paper. I am not sure who these are by. Let's see, does it say on the back? The Paper Studio. 2017 The Paper Studio. Uncharted Maps. Uncharted Map is the name of this particular 12 by 12. And I just had a few sheets of these. So what I am going to do is trim these down to a size that works for my particular journal. I did measure the inside of the journal. I want the pages to be tucked in the journal for sure. I don't want anything protruding. So what I decided to use as my guide in terms of cutting these papers is the inside cover mats. These mats are 5.5 by 4.5. So what I am going to do is cut my different papers down so that they work within that 5.5 by 4.5 guide. my different papers trimmed to a size that works for my journal. I am really excited about the different types of papers, the different textures. I have all of this cut off left over, which I will add to my scrap box. So this is going to make for some fun future journal projects. Now the next thing for me to do is sort these different papers into 3 signatures, and that is what I'm going to do now. Here are my 3 signatures. They are sorted. I counted the number of pages in each signature. I was hoping for 15 to 20 pages per signature, but as usual, I lack the ability to edit, so I'm a little concerned that I might have too much. But then again, is there such a thing as too much? I don't know. The next step for me is to put each signature together, sorting through the different papers, organizing them in a way that is aesthetically pleasing, number one, and that works. I want it to look, it's a bit of an eclectic collection, but I still want it to come together in a way that makes some sense. So I guess that's the next step. And then the other debate I'm having right now is paper bag versus wallpaper. I do want the wallpaper to be the cover for each of the journals, but I also really like these paper bags that I trimmed. I really like the paper bags. I like them a lot. So now I'm debating, do I want the wallpaper or do I want the brown paper bags? You know what? I'm going to stick with my gut, my initial and original plan. I'm going to go with the wallpaper. Now, if you will notice, all of my papers are not exactly trimmed to the correct height. Most of them are. In fact, there are only 2 that are not trimmed to the correct height, and that is the brown paper bag and this beautiful wallpaper trim. The wallpaper trim will be easy to cut down to the correct height. The paper bags are going to be a bit more challenging because if I trim them either at the top or the bottom, I am going to effectively end up destroying these pockets because I would have opened them either at the top or the bottom. So I am wondering, and I guess I will do that now, if the height of the paper bag still works with the journal cover. It's still, the journal cover is large enough that the paper bag will remain tucked inside of the journal cover. It won't peek out. So I think this is going to be a happy little accident in that I am going to leave it. I'm not going to trim it, and I'm okay with the height difference. I'm okay if all of these papers are not exactly perfectly trimmed. I'm going to keep the paper bag without trimming it, and I'm also going to keep the wallpaper as the cover to each of these signatures. So what I'm going to do now is just work each of these signatures, sort the papers, and put them together in a way that I think flows. So let's do that right now. Okay, I am trying not to be upset about what just happened, but it's really hard not to be upset about it. I was just reviewing the footage on my phone because for whatever reason it did stop recording, and in reviewing the footage I see that all of it was recorded in slow motion, which explains why the memory on my phone quickly filled up, because slow motion video takes up so much more space than a normal video. So I am trying to woosah and not be upset about it, and hope that my husband can help me to fix the footage. I don't know how much of my process was actually captured and how much of it will actually be able to be recovered, but let me take this time to just catch you up on what I have done up to this point. I did cut all of the different papers that I selected for my signature down to size. I sorted the papers into 3 signatures. I am extremely happy with the way the signatures turned out. They are a little thicker than I had hoped, and I may have to go through and kind of thin it out a little bit, maybe pull out 2 or 3 pages per signature. These signatures are done. I did have to go through and pull at least 4 or 5 pages per signature because they were a little thick. And I am genuinely concerned that once I do start working in the book, it's going to be unmanageable. So I did edit a lot, and I'm happy I did. Here is the journal cover. These are the 3 signatures. All that I have to do now is sew the signatures into the book. I did decide to sew them in. I was debating if I should just use cording, like elastic cording, so you can slip the pages in and out of the book in case I want to move some pages around depending on the particular box that I get that month. And now that I'm saying that out loud, that does sound like a good idea. So the question now in my mind, oh goodness, I thought I resolved this, is do I sew the signatures into the book or do I use elastic? Anyway, I think this pretty much completes the journal. Whether I sew it or use elastic, the journal's done. So I am going to call this video done. If you have stuck with me up until this point, thank you so much. I know the editing has been a bit of a hot mess, but thanks to my husband, I was able to recover all of the video, well, most of the video up until this point. And also thanks to the debacle that was the filming of this video, I ordered a genuine camera to film my videos moving forward. Right now I am using a different phone. I have retired the device I was using up until this point because it was no longer reliable, and it was just so stressful to put so much work into a video and then go through that whole process. So anyway, I'm talking too much. Thank you for joining me, my friends. I truly do appreciate you. The next video I will post is going to be a flip through where we will do a more detailed review of the signatures post edit, because, you know, did take some pages out, and you will learn, did I sew the signatures in or did I use an elastic? I will catch you all in the next video, my friends. Until next time, bye bye.